Alright, so it has been about a month. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it hasn't been exactly a month. It's been 25 days, but I have to kind of like record this a few days beforehand to get it out at exactly a month for algorithm purposes. So just want to be super transparent with you guys. But what I can say is that my SIM card has been in the iPhone 17 Pro Max that entire time. And what I can say is that although I'm someone who's typically more of an Android guy, this is the first time ever that I was not in just a huge rush to take my SIM card out and put it back in like my folding devices or my Galaxy Ultra series phones. This phone is powerful, has a lot of features that I personally have really enjoyed using over the course of this last month. And what I can say is that although this phone is awesome and the best iPhone that I personally have ever reviewed, there's still a couple of things that keep it from being the phone that I'm going to be personally using as my daily device on a day-to-day basis. But that does not mean that this phone is not going to be pretty much perfect for a lot of you guys watching this video. Now, if you guys have watched my other reviews on this channel, you know this is like my favorite feeling iPhone in the hand that I can remember in a long time. Outside of the iPhone Air, that takes the cake. The iPhone Air is awesome in the hand. Feels great in the hand. Looks really great on camera, and in person from like family members and friends that didn't even know that a new iPhone was out, they've really liked the way that this looks a lot. One of the biggest things I think that's a tangible difference right away for a lot of people is going to be the fact that this is now a 3000 peak nit brightness display, and you also have that anti-glare coating, which I think is great for outdoor usage. You know, when this came out, we were still on the back end of kind of like getting those sort of summer days, so still getting like 85, 90 degree weather days. The sun is like right overhead, clear blue skies, the sun just barreling straight down into your phone screen. And it was no problem at all, ever, being able to pick this up and respond to texts, scroll through social media, go through my emails and things like that on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It was just excellent all the time. The Galaxy S25 Ultra does have a slightly better anti-reflective coating on the front side in terms of how much it diffuses the harshness of the external light sources that are hitting your screen. But I mean, unless you have them side by side, you're not going to notice that, and all you're going to notice is that the screen is big and beautiful and bright, and you can use this in any condition with no problem. Cameras on the iPhone 17 Pro Max have been excellent. I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that every single year you go into picking up an iPhone, you know that the cameras and at minimum the point and shoot pictures that you're getting are gonna be excellent. And here, the additional 48 megapixel fusion camera for the ×4 and ×8 zoom images that you're getting for picture and video look really, really good. They've done a really good job here. Log format video recording looks really good. Not having 8K video on a phone that's a top tier flagship in 2025 is very, very strange, especially coming from Apple. They're kind of considered like cream of the crop when it comes to phones. Not having 8K video here is a strange miss, and that's one of those things that if you're someone that's going to be doing like content creation, having 8K video allows you the flexibility to crop in on things and still retain a lot of good detail retention compared to just the 4K that you're getting on your iPhone. And so when looking to use this as a tool, although it's still good, it's still missing a few things utility belt wise for the cameras. But overall, you're still gonna love the cameras on here, and taking images on this has been great. Now, something for the entire month that was kind of annoying to me is that the typing experience on iPhones just does not feel good. It feels slower and a bit more sluggish than any of the keyboards that I use on any of my other like Galaxy/Pixel devices. And even though I did download Gboard, Google's keyboard, on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, you still are not able to really customize it in the way that you are like on your Android devices, right? Where, for example, when I want the sub keys behind the primary keys, when you press and hold, it's longer over here on the iPhone, where on the Android side of things, using the same Google keyboard, I can actually adjust and customize how long that press is before I get to the sub keys. And it's something that you can't do over here on the iPhone. And overall, the typing experience just doesn't feel as good. It's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's garbage. That would be disingenuous. But on a day-to-day basis, I feel like typing is just not as smooth of an experience as whenever I'm typing on any of my other Android devices. And adding on to the cameras, although I personally don't use the camera control button all that much, this is actually something that I think would be nice to see on Android devices. It works pretty well. I don't use it all the time, but I feel like that's a tangible feature and a practical feature that can be useful for people. Like, I know when I've shown my mom and my dad this camera control feature in the past, they thought it was really cool and they thought it was a nice thing to have just to kind of make the iPhone feel more like an actual camera. They like that a lot. But really, I feel like the star of the show this year on the 17 Pro Max is the center stage camera right here. I mean, the 18 megapixels looks really, really good. You get really good detail retention and quality in both pictures and video, but just being able to change the orientation of the picture or video that you're taking, because center stage is using the entire lens and sensor of the camera that you're getting on the front end here, is really, really nice. Not having to rotate your phone and also being able to expand and widen things if you need to on a whim without having to do much else but a button press. That's really awesome. And also when you're FaceTiming family members and friends, being able to just kind of like have this set up on your desk if you want to and be able to, like, you know, move around while you're doing work or something like that. And the center stage camera actively tracking your head, so that way you don't have to feel like you're restrained to sitting in one specific spot, so that the person that you're talking to can actually see you. That's really nice. And that's one of those things that whenever I've used FaceTime on the 17 Pro Max, I've really, really enjoyed. And I feel like a lot of you guys watching this video, if you're considering and wondering what about the 17 Pro Max makes this better than the other iPhones or a good phone in general, that's definitely a feature that I've been really over the moon about. It's been great to use every single time. They definitely cooked with that. To be honest with you guys, at this point, lack of multitasking is killing me. Especially, it's really infuriating because the iPhone 17 Pro Max is a powerhouse phone that costs, what is it, like $1,300 plus? And you can't multitask on this massive, beautiful display, which makes absolutely no sense to me. And there are always people in the comment section that go, oh, you don't need to multitask on your phone. It's your phone. Sure. However, when you're paying this much money for a device that's supposed to be a tool for you, having those additional features is way better than not having them for the times that you need to have them. I don't multitask all the time. But the times that I need to do it, being able to do it on my Galaxy S25 Ultra, on my Pixel devices, etc., is really, really nice. And even if you say your phone's not supposed to be a tool, you just need it for texting and phone calls, why spend that much money on an iPhone 17 Pro Max? You can just pick up an iPhone 10 or 11 or 12. You know, one of the ones that's not going to cost you over $1,000 and is still going to text and call for you just as well as this one's going to. Now, if you're someone that wants a phone that you know you can take off the charger and not have to worry about charging it at all throughout the course of your day and is going to make it to the end of your day, this is the one, man. This phone is probably the best battery life in a phone that I've used since like the OnePlus I think it was the OnePlus 13, right? The battery life on that was amazing. And this phone, when I take this off the charger like 7:30 in the morning, there's no concern at all that it's not going to get me to the end of my day. My brother-in-law, that's new to say, they got married a month after we did in Chicago. And when I was thinking of what phone to bring to be reliable battery life-wise, because I knew we were going to be out all of the time and I didn't want to have to worry about bringing a power bank with me or having to worry about charging at some point throughout the day, I brought the 17 Pro Max, A, because it's good for content, of course, but also B, because I knew for sure this phone was going to last me the entire day, every single day, with no problem. That's with taking pictures and videos of the event and everything like that. Yeah, it's just been amazing. And I'm someone who, obviously, of course, right, better battery life is objectively just flat out better. I'm not gonna argue that. For me though, I'm someone who, at most junctures of my day, have some kind of charging capacity available to me, right? So like my Galaxy Z Fold 7, as much as I love it, I know I have to charge it at least once per day because I'm getting like 6.5 hours worth of screen on time out of it. But I'm kind of okay with that because I have chargers pretty much at every juncture of my day, be it in the car, at my desk, you know, portable power banks if I really need to. But having a phone in your pocket that you don't have to have that kind of like conscious thought in the back of your mind at all is just flat out awesome. And so if you want an amazing battery on your phone, this is definitely the one. So very surprisingly, this has kind of been a glitchy experience over the course of this last month. Not 100% of the time, but there have definitely been numerous instances where apps are just like freezing, stuttering, or if I'm trying to open up the tabs to scroll through my different applications, that gets stuck. When I first got the 17 Pro Max, Maria asked to see it so she can see how it compares to her iPhone. And there were instances where, like, for example, you know the thing where you just kind of like swipe up and the app goes away? There were multiple times when she was trying to swipe an application away and it just wouldn't go away. It was just kind of stuck there. And again, this is not happening all of the time, but this is probably overall the glitchiest iPhone experience I have personally had. Which is very surprising because Apple really prides themselves on smoothness and cohesion and, you know, things not being glitchy and laggy and all of those kinds of things. And again, 95% of the time this works the way that you want it to work, but something I've definitely noticed that this has been glitchier than my Android devices for sure. Which is funny because I feel like years ago it was definitely significantly reversed where Android devices on average were a lot more glitchy, but this has been strangely glitchy. Again, I don't think it's going to absolutely break your experience with this if you're looking to use this phone. I think it definitely has more to do with the software that the iPhone 17 Pro Max is currently running, but something to keep in mind. And those are my thoughts so far. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is honestly a great phone, and I do stand by it. It's my favorite iPhone that I've personally used over these last several years. There's just a lot to really like about it. A lot of the features there that are hands-on, tangible, and the overall just feel of the device is great. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Ultimately, it is not enough for me to not put my SIM card back into my Galaxy Z Fold 7 to use as my primary phone. But just because it is not enough for me does not mean that it can't be for you. And I think honestly for like 90% of you guys watching this video right now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is going to be awesome in pretty much every single way. Yeah, I'm going to go and review this guy now if anyone's interested in the new Xbox ROG Allies and the Ally X. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for stopping by and hanging out. I wish you a fantastic remainder of your day. And as always, peace, love, adios, bye guys, and have a great day.